Over my head, I see trouble in the air. Over my head, I see trouble.
Montgomery, Alabama, 1960. City of the famous bus boycott.
I see trouble in the air.
The Dexter Avenue Baptist Church, whose pastor was Martin Luther King. Officers of the peace, citizens of Montgomery, waiting as Negroes prepare to march on the municipal building in support of sit-ins who demonstrate against lunch counter segregation.
I see trouble in the air. Over my head, I see trouble in the air. There must be a God somewhere.
This is Monroe, North Carolina. The town where local NAACP president Robert Williams created headlines when he said, "Sometimes violence must be met with violence." Many asked why.
Because some of the people who had thought that it would be better to settle these cases violently, I had been able to persuade them that we should use the courts and go into the courts. So this thing had boomeranged, and I was being held responsible for having brought these cases to court. There was a trial where a Negro maid had been kicked down a flight of stairs by a white man, and that this man hadn't even bothered to come to his own trial, and that he had also been acquitted. And there was a demonstration as a result of this in the courtroom by the Negro women of the community, and they had approached me and had said, well, you said that you would see that these people would be punished because through the organization we would have competent counsel, and that if it hadn't been for you, that these people would have been punished. And they wanted to know what I would recommend that they do from then on. And so I recommended that they meet violence with violence, that Negroes must be prepared to repulse attacks, that they must be willing to fight, that they must be willing to die and to kill if necessary, that there was no law, no 14th Amendment to the United States Constitution of equal protection in the South, and that therefore they didn't have any deterrent, so they would have to create the deterrent force themselves by meeting violence with violence.
Nightmares are not the sole property of Southern sleepers. This is Brooklyn, New York, where headlines tell of repeated incidents of police brutality.
Perhaps I'm not the right person to talk about this case, but I feel it so deeply and so closely that I'll not rest until somebody pays for the death of Al Garrett, were he my brother. I'm angry about a number of things, not only about Edward Silver, the district attorney of this county, who has thus far failed to arrest the policeman who shot him to death, but I'm angry with a lot of my Negro brethren who don't even get angry about the fact that a poor man lies dead in his grave tonight.
Attorney Thomas Russell Jones deplores the slaying.
He was killed as a result of a policeman's bullet fired at him while he was in custody in the 79th Precinct on Gates Avenue. This man, who had not even committed any crime, he failed to put a bottle or trash in a can. And this trigger-happy cop took him in. marched him into the police station. And there's some testimony. As Al Garrett was being marched to the police station, he suddenly put up his hands and said, "Oh, you're not going to do that to me," and marched, holding his hands all the way to the precinct. Anybody who's been a Negro for long knows what that means. Any man here in this room knows what you do, why you do a thing like that.
Greenville, South Carolina. In this church, whose pastor is J.S. Hall, a group protests the treatment accorded Jackie Robinson at the local airport. Local NAACP President A.J. Wittenberg describes the incident.
The manager of this airport told them that this was not the waiting room for Negroes, that the one around at the back at the side. Mr. Robinson came and told them that he was an interstate passenger, that surrogation was unlawful. Then he summons the policeman and told the policeman, if these Negroes sit down, arrest them. Mr. Robinson said to this manager, that if I sit down, will you really arrest me and I'm an interstate passenger? He really said yes. He said, you a Negro, aren't you?
Walk together, children. Don't get weary. Walk together, children.
They are marching on the airport.
Walk together, children. Don't get weary. There's a great camp meeting in the promised land. Going to mourn and never tire. Mourn and never tire.
Words of protest are read there as a group remains outside singing.
There's a great camp meeting in the promised land. Walk together, children.
Youths march in the streets of the nation's capital, petitioning for integrated schools.
Walk together, children.
Congressman Charles Diggs of Detroit gathers the petitions. A voice from Africa.
Our struggle,
Tom Maboya
the world
of Kenya.
struggle, a human struggle. The struggle in Africa is one for nothing less and nothing more than the eradication of poverty, disease, and ignorance. And in this context, you and ourselves are all engaged in the same struggle that can aptly be summarized in terms of a struggle for political freedom, for economic opportunity, and for human dignity. This is my message to you. And I and millions of other people join you today in solidarity for the success of the struggle in which we are all involved. Thank you.
A voice from America. Martin Luther King.
As I stand here and look out upon the thousands of Negro faces and the thousands of white faces intermingled I see only one face. That is the face of the future. Yes, as I gaze upon this great historic assembly, this unprecedented gathering of young people, I cannot help thinking that 100 years from now, the historians will be calling this not the beat generation, but the generation of integration.
And Bayard Rustin.
On October 25th, we came here 10,000 strong, and we didn't see anybody. We said we would come again and again and again. We doubled the number, and this time we got into the White House. My friends, that is the most important meaning of today's session. That we acted, black and white together, old and young, but mostly much younger than I am, and you have done your job, you have won your victory, and you can go back home and tell everybody that you come home with a victory of having had 4 young people your own age speak to the power of this nation in the White House. And
This is a victory, and the dawn is dimly seen, only dimly. This is not Montgomery, nor Monroe. This is Glendale, Queens, in the city of New York. A Negro mother speaks.
In order to get a better education for our children, we were ready, willing, and anxious to go to other schools. We had been asked that the parents not go to Glendale because of the tension from the parents in Glendale. The schools to which we were going, the parents of those schools did not want our children there.
Children from Bedford-Stuyvesant's overcrowded schools were being transferred to the spacious ones in Glendale.
Some of the parents did not send their children. However, the ones that were anxious for their children to get a good education, they didn't fear anything, because when you are anxious to achieve something, you forget about fear.
A reporter interviews some of the picketing mothers.
Do your children go to this school, ma'am?
No, they don't. They go to a religious school not far away.
Well, what is the reason for your presence on the picket line today?
I believe the children in the Bedford-Stuyvesant area deserve their own school. They shouldn't have to be bused and used as pawns by politicians.
You, ma'am, how many? You have 2 children.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to keep them out?
I couldn't say that right now.
Did you keep them out today?
Yes.
What was the reason? Your reason?
I'm protesting the school transfer because they're bypassing underutilized schools. There's other schools they can put these children in. So there's no reason for this transfer.
Well, do you feel there are other schools in their own neighborhood?
That's right. These children shouldn't be shipped 3-4 miles.
Is there any hint of segregation in this present protest?
No, definitely not.
Is a southern city where department stores refuse lunch counter service to Negro students. Warnings of arrest, threats of jail terms, and violence all fail to put out what burns in the hearts and minds of the youngsters.
is all we want. See, if the public sentiment, man, is genuine, and those people stop spending that dollar there, man, let them feel the hard economical hurt.
Yeah.
That's the...
If you don't leave, I have to have a warrant issued for your arrest and charge you trespassing.
I'm telling you, so
I told you you're not welcome in the store, all right? Charge you for trespassing. I'll be right back for more in just a minute. Sir, do you leave the store? You will not leave the store. You don't have to issue a warrant for your arrest if you don't leave. Is that right? You understand that?
Yeah.
Please stay out of this now. I'm talking to her.
Avoid trouble. Sometimes you'll have to keep moving. You cannot block these out.
Same position these people are if you don't leave. Get you moved now. Let's get you moved. We're not having this trouble with anybody, but charge you with trespass. You go have the right to be here.
Okay, man.
We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome.
They call us animals. I mean, they ridicule us. Everywhere they go, they ridicule us, you see. It's envy. We've come a long way with nothing, see. We get half the salary another man is getting. The same job, but half the salary. Okay?
That means a whole lot to know that you aren't in some mud hole trying to fight for something and nobody else gives a damn, but that your fellow Negroes are with you, and that means an awful lot to anyone fighting for something, for an ideal.
I might be going out on a limb, but I do believe there is a lot of respect for this movement.
Hunter College students, sympathetic to the sit-ins, rally around NAACP official Jim Farmer. And Jackie Robinson. And tomorrow's victory.
Truth shall make us free. Truth shall make us free. Truth shall make us free someday. Deep in my heart, I do believe truth shall make us free someday. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. shall overcome.